just talking about the Hulk, I really liked how they ended it, where he went back to being a tragic figure.
It really was, man. And that's another thing. See, that's another thing that Jean Grey did.
Yeah.
She ruined this man's life. He was doing fine. And then she took over his body, and now he's like, oh shit, not again.
Yeah, what did I do?
Yeah.
This time.
What did I do?
Yeah, he was fine. He had his job. He was in control, and then she took over, and of course, he's gonna get blamed. You know, not her. So yeah, that's another shitty thing that she did. If this is up on YouTube, as the title has told you, as we have been telling you leading up to this is a spoiler discussion for the biggest movie of the summer.
What is happening to me?
Did you miss me, Spidey?
I'm losing my mind.
I am totally out of control. I gotta fix whatever this is right now.
If I made $1 billion over the weekend, I'd be losing my damn mind too. Yeah, of course, this is Spider-Man, brand new day. A lot of money involved. Big payday for Tom Holland. I think he got like 17 million or something for this.
Yeah, right off the heels of the Odyssey.
Yeah. He's having a great summer, but Spider-Man's having a better summer. This movie has already hit $1 billion just barely over the weekend. It is probably the biggest movie of the year at this point.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna catch up with this at all.
Yeah, it was like by Sunday they were like, oh, it's second only to Endgame. And then by Monday they were like, no, I passed Endgame.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do that a lot of people are loving the film. I don't know how it's ranked if you want to go by Rotten Tomatoes among Spider-Man movies, but it still has a 90% with critics out there, 92, 91%. It's in the 90% range. And it's got like a 98% audience score. Everybody's loving this. Great word of mouth. People are trying to see it again if you can get in, because as we talked about, everything is sold out.
Right, it's the hottest ticket.
Yeah, and we all here loved it to some degree. This man loved it over here. Oz loved it. I loved it, except for I'm the one picking nits.
Yeah,
I'm the one nitpicking.
Yeah, it can have a 99% rating, except for you.
And I went in and ruined it.
You got to be the Armand White.
I will tell you, I love this movie, but I'll explain how all this works out, what it is I love about it, what those complaints are that I had that I could not elaborate on in the actual review, and what I think that this is setting up. Is setting up something in this movie where it's doing it well, but setting up something for future films that I think has the potential to also do something very interesting.
Okay.
And let's start out with what is probably the worst kept secret about this film. Sadie Sink.
Right.
Everybody already knew that Sadie Sink, I mean, not everybody, but most people knew that she's the character Jean Grey of the X-Men, a mutant.
Right.
And I think that, I want to hear what you have to say, Martin, and even in Oz, both of you, because I'm sure a lot of you know more about the comic book background of these characters and stories and whatnot than I do. But I would say, just from my limited knowledge and looking at what they did in this movie, I think that they did some great things with her in this film. She's a great actress, first of all.
Yeah.
She's from Stranger Things, for those who don't know, but everybody knows it at this point. But what I think that they did very well in this movie is that they made her the main villain, at least for most of the film.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that she is the main villain all the way through, but go ahead.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah.
No, that is...
Matter of fact, that like something, we couldn't talk about, but the movie really lets her slide.
It does.
Which in a way,
she wasn't just a villain; she was an evil villain.
Yeah, she did a lot of things throughout this film.
A lot of horrendous things, man.
Horrendous things that are unforgivable. But it's like, well, they did you wrong, so go ahead and leave. I was like,
nah, man. Let me change that, Mark, because I 100% agree with you on that. Because a lot of people said, well, until. What is it? Damage Control.
Yeah.
Came in. They's like, well, they end up being the real villain. I was like, well, no, they had to get her under control.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Oh, go ahead, Oz.
No, I'm sorry, but I'm saying she mind controlled some dude and backed him up into the street.
A guy got hit by a taxi cab.
Yeah.
He's probably dead.
Yeah.
She probably
backed
killed
him up
somebody.
into it.
Yeah, throwing people off roofs.
Yeah.
And that whole violation she did with MJ.
See, that's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Jean Grey be raping.
Yeah.
She's a rapist, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. And I ain't even, look, maybe some of y'all are saying, I'm going too far, or if these guys agree with me, we're going too far. She is a rapist in this movie, man. So that whole thing that she did, first of all, she raped MJ by taking over her body and then making her be intimate with Peter against her will.
Yeah.
And she also raped Peter's emotions.
Yep.
Man, that was, like Peter said, that was unforgivable. That was cruel, and that was sick. Knowing how much Peter loved her. Yeah. And then playing like she is MJ, saying, I love you back, letting him have this real tender moment, and then turn around saying, you know, psych.
And he hadn't done anything to her to warrant that.
No. Right. No, he did not, man. That was a really sick, torturous, cruel thing emotionally to do to somebody, man. And she was terrible to do that alone. Like I said, even Peter said, man, you don't, really? Bitch, you don't understand how unforgivable it is what you just did? You read minds? And you don't know how shitty that is?
Yeah.
But on top of, unless y'all want to add something more with MJ.
No. It's, well, what I would add, because, it sets it up, it kind of flips it to go like, well, damage control are the real villains because they're trying to capture the mutants and do this and that. And what they were doing, they try to make them weapons. That is absolutely wrong. And I'm not taking away their villain status for that.
Exactly.
But the more we see the mutants, I know we're supposed to be on the X-Men side and all, but the more we see with the mutants and what they can do, they got to be put away. They are too dangerous. And she's proof right there.
And see, Oz, you want to say something?
No, I was just to Martin's point. I think they're making some good groundwork to make whatever is going to be the evil or the antagonist against the X-Men have that almost Thanos type of reality where you can see his point, see their point as well. Because right now you're seeing like the events of what happens when you have this Omega level mutant be able to do whatever they want with people. That needs to be checked, like Martin said. So it's like they're making a good case for you to agree with some things that may be going down in this mutant saga. So I think that's kind of cool.
Well, see, that's what I was going to bring up, and I'm glad y'all did, because I think some people think we're being too harsh. But yes, man, look, the Avengers are dangerous. How many accords have we made to handle the Avengers because they tear up every city they go to? Superheroes are dangerous. But see, what I'm thinking here is, and this has always been something that I've wondered about in the comics. What is the distinction between, why are people hating on the mutants so much when everybody has powers?
Right.
And I don't think the comics really address that too well. But in this movie, we start out with our main introduction being Jean Grey, and she's ready to kill half of Manhattan. She's holding people against their will. She's like, I'm ready to destroy them because they hurt me. And she's ready to kill innocent people. So I think that'll be the distinction that we need between the mutants and other heroes. The mutants are, I think they need to set up all of them as being more dangerous, more of a threat.
Oh, yeah.
So that so when the mutants come up and they're considered more of a threat, there's going to be more of an urgency to try to stop them more than like the Avengers or some of the other heroes that we've already seen.
Yeah, I mean, like the people at large, they don't know how Spider-Man got his powers. For all they know, he's a mutant. But their introduction to him is him saving people and taking down criminals. So it's like, well, we ain't got to be scared of him.
But then you're going to have kids born like Cyclops who don't know what to do with their powers. And what if we got a guy who's ready to take down whole skyscrapers just by opening his eyes, and they don't know what to do with these people? Either they're going to be misunderstood and dangerous and we don't know where to put them, or they're going to be born with these powers and they're going to use them for bad things, and then the society is going to be scared of them. So I think that's the way to distinguish the mutants and their introduction against all the other people that we have. And even set up here, like the Inhibitor. The Inhibitor,
they even have,
what's that?
I'm sorry to cut
go ahead.
you off,
No, please.
But as you were talking, they already have a distinction in place, right? The Spider-Mans of the world, they are enhanced. right?
Yeah.
Whereas the mutants are mutants. So it'll be easier to distinct between enhanced individuals and mutants.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess that's where
exactly.
they get the fear from, right? Because they've always established that, I think Spider-Man is enhanced as opposed to this person's a mutant. So I think that's how they were able to separate the two and say, hey, the mutants are bad. The enhanced are okay. The mutants, they're bad.
Yeah. Well, again, because you get with the thing I think with mutants is that you're going to have maybe, and listen, the mutants have been an analogy for racism and and for homophobia. And I think that's what's going to start happening. You're going to start seeing powers being treated like people with gay kids.
Yeah.
Like I didn't ask for my kid to be born with powers, and now I'm not going to be shunned by society because those little stupid ass. And so that's going to be where the real fear is coming in.
Sure.
It's not just geniuses anymore, and as you say, enhanced powers. You're going to have all these mutants coming up now, and people are just not going to know what to do with them, and the mutants are not going to know what to do with themselves. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I think taking the villain route, at least as a first step, is a good thing. And I think that was cool the way they had Spider-Man come up with the inhibitor to try to control Jean Grey, because now that's going to be taken into even more evil hands, and they're going to use that as a way to control the mutants.
Sure.
Which is a great setup.
It is. One more thing for him to feel guilty about. he don't have enough going on.
What have I done?
Yes, Spider-Man getting his Oppenheimer on. Yeah. What have I made?
Exactly. Somebody said, "Damn it, Peter!"
Well, I got the idea from Banner.
Man, speaking of Banner, I want to, and speaking of the inhibitor, I wanted to address some of the things that the movie's doing so good that it's pointing out even the bigger flaws with the rest of the MCU and some of the movies that we've done. So I love, first of all, Mark Ruffalo in the film.
Dr. Banner, you found a way to suppress mutating DNA, right?
If you see me with this stuff, run.
Way too much.
But I like Mark Ruffalo. I'm afraid that they're trying to ease Mark Ruffalo out this role.
I know,
because he's not on any he's not in any of the marketing tours.
Right.
He's not on the red carpet.
I thought he made a statement that he wasn't going to do more.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the thing. I remember reading a statement, him saying he wasn't going to do any more. But then the director here said him and Mark Ruffalo were going back and forth on ideas for some Hulk movies to come up.
Well, see, that's interesting.
But Mark Ruffalo, he's been a little too vocal about
Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have him on any of the marketing tours. Like, he wasn't on any red carpets. So I think that they're holding him back. And plus, they're talking about recasting a lot of people. So I would not be surprised if Mark Ruffalo is cast out, which is sad.
4 Bruce Banners. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4. Eric Bana, Ed Norton,
and now him.
And yeah.
So another one would be the 4th.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're talking about, going in and rebooting everything anyway. So it'd be, who knows where this is going at this point.
Yeah, the way they keep reading stuff about them recasting Spider-Man, you're like, are you sure about that? After you just got $1 billion?
Yeah, they're gonna keep his ass around.
Yeah.
Now, Tom Holland said at some point, "I'm out."
Yeah, they're like, "No, you're not."
No, you're not. Yeah, but I think they are gonna try to shift towards Miles Morales, slowly.
Definitely.
Yeah, slowly, but they are gonna shift towards Miles Morales and let him take over at some point, which is what I'm thinking. But they're gonna keep his ass in for a little bit because Tom Holland is doing too great at this, and we need another couple of movies to see him as an adult.
Yeah,
but. Going back to the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo is great. Too bad, we don't know the fate of him. But the Hulk, man, this is the best we've seen Hulk in a while. I'm glad they brought Angry Hulk back.
I was really happy for the return of the Savage Hulk.
Yeah, Savage Hulk. Yeah, I was glad that they brought back Angry Savage Hulk, man. But it also shows the problems with Marvel not having full rights. To the Hulk.
Yeah.
So if nobody knows out there, at least from my understanding, they can make Hulk movies with other characters, but Universal will not let them make a solo Hulk movie.
Right.
Which is why you haven't got like World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. Even though they've done elements to introduce that, they can't go through with it. And see, that's the problem with this, man, because there's a lot of inconsistencies with them not being able to have the full rights to him. First of all, there's inconsistencies with the inhibitor itself, but they've also abandoned characters and plot lines. That whole thing with Black Widow, Bruce Banner and Hulk, that's just dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
dead,
so.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it kind of got dropped so long ago, I forgot about it.
Yeah, but it was just, there was no follow through.
Right.
They just stopped.
Yeah.
Your girl, Betty Ross, nobody knows where she is. She just disappeared. They introduced his boy, Scar.
How's she going to compete with Black Widow?
Yeah, I know. But Dan, let us know. Give us an update. We've seen her daddy out there, Thunderbolt Ross, but nobody knows where she is. But
the son,
the Scar, the son, and that was introduced in She-Hulk, and it's like, okay, so now I guess the most explainable thing here is that this was happening at a time when Marvel was also doing stingers that they weren't following through on.
Yeah.
Other plot elements that they weren't following through on. And so these things fell through the cracks.
The problem is when they're doing all these projects, they got different creative teams that aren't talking to each other.
Yeah.
So that's why Wanda in Doctor Strange 2 is inconsistent from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, we wrote this before we even knew how they were going to end that series.
Yeah. No, that's true. So there's a lot of things that they've been dropping and just not following up on, but Hulk is one of the worst. And that's because I think it's because of the rights issue. They just don't know what to do with him when they cannot make, especially solo movies, to kind of fill in the gaps of where things would go. Because if they could do a solo movie, they could have wrapped up or done something with this Black Widow Hulk storyline. If they had a solo movie, we could have seen Betty Ross.
Yeah.
But we can't do that. So Hulk is just kind of floating and doing all kinds of things. And like I said, we can't get a World War Hulk, even though they're introducing and setting up things like his son, because that's a solo movie.
I mean, showing his son, that would imply that World War Hulk already happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oz, you got anything to add?
No, you guys hitting on the head, man. Everybody wanted a solo Hulk, but Universal's in the way, even though the rights, I think, were up for grabs in 2023.
Yeah.
And I believe Universal has like a first right of refusal on Hulk standalone movie somehow. So they're still entangled somehow with Disney doing something fully on their own.
Oh, was Betty
that's why they really couldn't do anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
No, that's why they couldn't do anything with the Hulk right now. So, I mean, he's forced to be in limbo because they can't do anything.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, was Betty Ross in Captain America: Brave New World?
Was she? I think that was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because she comes to see Thunderbolt and
that's right. That's right. But okay, so scratch that. But she just came out of nowhere too. Yeah. And see, they don't do anything when she comes in that you almost forget about her. He was on a phone call in the movie with her or something, right?
Yeah. Something like her talking to him while he was in jail.
Yeah.
It's weird that Universal, like, they don't look at the Sony deal and go, man, we could really be getting a big piece of this.
Yeah, maybe Universal won't let them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird that they won't capitulate.
Yeah. Even Professor Hulk, like, what happened with that? Like, how come he's, maybe there's something I'm missing. Like, we saw it in She-Hulk, which I'm thinking they're just kind of pushing aside now.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, he was Professor Hulk, and that just, they don't explain why he went back to being, Dr. Banner. So
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, you figured that he would heal better as the Hulk, because that whole thing after Endgame, his arm got all emaciated or whatever, and he was healing from that. And the next time we saw him again, he was Bruce Banner at the end of Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's right. He was a hologram.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, I don't know.
I mean, he's being a professor. Maybe they were like, listen, Dr. Banner, we love your work, but we can't have a Hulk teaching a class.
You can't come in looking like that. Yeah. Yeah, you either scaring the shit out of people or it's a distraction. But, I only say this because what they did with the Hulk in this movie was incredible, man. Okay, all right. That was an accident. No pun intended. I can't blame you, though. But, yeah, everything that they did with him in those scenes, man, I thought that's what everybody's been waiting on for so long.
It could get that big.
That scene was amazing, man. I love it. What's that, Oz?
No, right. When he's running from the Hulk in that corridor and the cameras twisting and everything to see him getting away. That was awesome.
Get out of there. What you doing?
I love it. Everybody, when they see the Hulk, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So I got some things that I want to talk about and elaborate on, but I just want to go free form here and see if you guys got anything you want to add that we did not talk about in a review, or something that's a spoiler that you want to bring up.
I'm thinking something to spoiler that I didn't bring up. I mean, just talking about the Hulk, I really liked how they ended it, where he went back to being a tragic figure.
It really was, man, and that's another thing. See, that's another thing that Jean Grey did.
Yeah,
she ruined this man's life. Mm-hmm. He was doing fine, and then she took over his body, and now he's like, oh shit, not again.
Yeah, what did I do?
Yeah,
this time.
What did I do?
Yeah, he was fine. He had his job. He was in control, and then she took over, and of course, he's gonna get blamed. Mm-hmm. Not her. So yeah, that's another shitty thing that she did. But
yeah,
what's that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Did they make her irredeemable? You know what I mean? Did they go too far with what she was doing? Because, as we're thinking back and talking about all the horrendous thing that she did, it's like, her talking with Aunt May in the memory, that all of a sudden, you know what, you're good now, kid, keep moving. Do we just have to accept that? I don't know. Do we sit with this more? I am now. Because we've been speaking about, wait a minute, that's bad what she did. Because now we're talking about she ruined barriers. She really with Spider-Man in his head. She's killed people. It's like, can you redeem yourself from that?
She's a rapist. she's left.
Yeah, that too.
She's left a trail of horrible acts behind her, and that's what's weird about it. I guess it's just a comic book thing because, she goes away because her and Peter had a talk.
Well, we lean towards forgiving her. At least the movie pushes it that way because Peter forgives her because he's got a lot of forgiveness in him because that's why he's able to work with the Punisher. With Frank, he's like, I know Frank does this. That's just Frank. He's a good person inside. He just kills criminals. What can I say? And with her, he's like, I know you are good if you just get past what you're going through.
Yeah,
I've been through shit too. I just don't act out like the rest of you, but I get it.
Yeah, and what's he gonna do? He can't control her,
right?
So he kind of has to let her go, but because he doesn't want to kill her like Frank Castle was going to do. But I also think I think that it's the third act that I have a problem with in this movie, and I think you're right, Oz. I think she's because her sister died. We're supposed to feel sorry for her sister was killed by damage control, so they're. Because they killed her sister. They're more villainous than she is, and they pushed her to this point. But to just let her walk away, and even for Peter, we had a chat. So we're good, right? For him to even not be like, I don't know what I did letting this girl go. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what she's going to do. I think, it is a point where it's maybe they let off the hook a little too easy. And, of course, we got to go to the X-Man, too. So we got to let her go one way or another.
Of course.
But she murdered people. She ruined people's lives. I think for the end of the movie to be that sweet where she's like, oh, she's going to be okay. And it's like, well, the other people aren't, at least not for short term.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's where the movie manipulates you to, she saved Peter's life. She breathed for him. So everything is okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the manipulation that they're trying to give you. But it would have been nice to have that discussion or even that lingering, comic to say, okay, she helped me, but still that was very dangerous and irresponsible what she did. You know what I mean? And have that carry over, again, to the mutants again.
Yeah. And Peter saw her kill a guy with a cab, possibly. We don't know the guy. Look, the guy might be in a body cast in a hospital somewhere, so we don't know.
Right.
I guess the movie assumes that we just assume that the guy's all right since the movie's PG-13, which, by the way, it is if you think about it, besides some of the darker themes like taking over people's bodies and mentally torturing people, no one's really killed in the movie.
No. Not murdered anyway.
Not murdered, except maybe they got the cab, but we don't know. But it's
off screen.
Off screen, yeah. But it's leaning towards more a family Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah,
in a way, which I thought was kind of cool.
No, it perfectly walks the line between all the different things it needs to do.
Yeah. Martin, since you are our guest today, can I ask you a question?
Please.
May I give a word to our sponsor right now? It was polite about it.
Yes, but what if I said no?
Martin, I would be obligated to give this word to you from my sponsor, Factor Meals.
Okay.
Or Factor. And with Factor, you can always not only eat well, but eat healthy, Martin. Let me tell you about Factor right here. Factor has over 175, let me see here.
Some of that looks good.
What's that?
I said some of that looks good.
Oh, doesn't that look good right there? Yeah. Yeah, every Factor meal is designed around what supports healthier lifestyle and nothing that does it, man. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes, Martin. 2 minutes, sir.
Only 2 minutes?
And require no rep and no cleanup. So even
No prep.
No prep, no cleanup, Martin.
Okay.
You don't worry about nothing, Martin. Just put it in there, heat it up, and you're ready to go.
Yeah,
so
like,
even on those days where your schedule is crazy, and it's always crazy.
Always crazy.
You're eating well, and that's still achievable. And 97% of users agree that Factor meals help them live a healthier life, so you can feel confident that you're doing something good for yourself with every meal. I'm gonna do something good for all of you out there. You're gonna like this. Listen, head over to factormeals.com/toasted50off and use the code toasted50off to get 50% off and one free breakfast item per box for 1 year. 365 days. Now that's while supplies last until 10/31/26. Now that's the code toasted50off at factormeals/toasted50off at factormeals.com. Go and check out the website for more details. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. And I especially want to thank Factor for supporting a healthy lifestyle. So I talked about The Punisher and how that was a sticking point with me here because I don't feel like they got the character exactly right. I don't think they got the relationship with him and Peter. Now, that's not to say that I don't like them together in the movie. I think they do very well, especially him and John Bernthal. And I like him and Spider-Man together. I mean, and you know, and I like that people are liking them together because I don't want anybody to dislike this because I hope they get together again sometime.
Yeah.
I've been advocating for the Punisher to be in the MCU for so long.
You have.
I'm not going to sit up here and ruin it now. So if everybody, listen, if people are enjoying this, I'm fine with it.
Yay, they did what I wanted. They didn't do it quite the way I wanted.
They didn't do it like I want it. Yeah, exactly.
They didn't do it my way.
Yeah. Why did they come to me and ask me first? But the reason why is because, and I'm not saying that this is something that I'm arguing with people about. Like I said, I'm glad people are liking this. I was even talking to some kid in London who didn't know the Punisher. And so he didn't know what that character's about. He did like the character though. And so cool, you know, like we said, well, I was telling Julian, he didn't know the Punisher. And so if you don't know the Punisher, it's not gonna ruin the movie for you at all. But just reading the comics, and that's what I loved about the Punisher and Spider-Man, is that in the comics, they always clashed. They're not friends. They're, they respect each other, but Peter doesn't like that the Punisher's a murderer, even if he's killing bad people, because he thinks that one day that could end up hurting somebody who's not bad. And Frank Castle, Punisher, thinks that Peter Parker is naive. He thinks that you and everybody else that ain't doing the job that I'm doing, y'all are soft. Y'all some bitches. y'all are responsible for getting people killed, letting these villains go. So it's, they both have their points, but they reluctantly work together sometimes. And I know things are changing for the movie, so I don't mind that they change a little bit. Like, I don't think that, like you said, when you don't like the Punisher and everything else, saying that he's more tactical, I understand that, but that never really bothered me. But you're right. He is more tactical in the comics. And also that, like you like to say.
Yeah, that was silly.
Well, in every other appearance, he does that all the time.
Yeah, he does.
So the fact that he only did it twice here, I was like, all right.
And keep in mind, both of us did not like that Punisher special that came out.
Hated it, yeah.
Yeah, did you see a Punisher special?
Nah, I'm not a big Punisher fan. Like I told you, man, some guys shooting guns. I'm like, I'm good.
And see, that's probably the thing with me is that I'm a big Punisher fan.
I'm a huge Punisher fan, especially once Garth Ennis started writing the book.
Yeah.
And when he did his first series, and it's kind of like, edgy, silly, fun. That's when you got stuff that a lot of the Thomas Jane movie was based on that.
Exactly, with the Russian and all that.
Yeah, with the Russian. But then he came back to the series and did the Max series where it was all serious. It took you all the way back to his days in Vietnam and then him going after Russians. And it just kept going and going.
Yeah, they had his origin where he was disturbed in Vietnam.
And they were just some fantastic issues. Matter of fact, of all comics I have, those are probably the ones I go back and reread the most.
Yeah.
Because I'll pick up one and then I just can't stop.
Yeah. So, to talk about the Punisher in this movie, I think what they did with him as the movie went on for me, it's not what I would say is exactly the Punisher. I did love the introduction. I think they got the introduction. Well, they had met before, but our introduction of the Punisher and Spider-Man together in this movie,
their relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was on point.
Suit yourself.
That's the Punisher, man. He's cold. Don't get in my way.
Right, but he had a point. He's like, I'm trying to top that tank before it runs over innocent people.
No, exactly. See, that's where they both have certain points. I think Frank is a little more extreme, but
I think they're both right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I think they're both right. I just think Frank is a little more extreme in his in what he's doing.
Yeah,
sometimes.
But where Spider-Man is a little bit more naive.
Yeah.
Could do things a little tighter.
Yeah. When there's
I like the maturity. I like the maturity here for old Spider-Man, because back in the day, he'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Castle, you have to stop doing that. Please don't do that." Now it's like, "Come on, Frank, stop this bullshit, man."
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he's lecturing him now.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not Stark's intern anymore.
Yeah, no, and I love that. Like, he's letting them know, I ain't no boy no more. Stop.
Go home.
If you don't stop, I'll stop you.
Right.
And of course, Punisher's like, I like to see you try.
Okay.
So that's the kind of relationship that I like, what they set up there. And I do love the Hulk part. I mean, just nerding out, seeing Frank Castle fight the Hulk. Mm-hmm. That's about as comic book as you can get.
Sure. Especially, I love the fact that he didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like, well, you take the Hulk and I'll go. He's like, I see what you're doing over there.
Well, you the one with the powers, man. No, I love that, man. It's a real bold thing to bring the Punisher into a Spider-Man movie, after you've set him up as such a violent character. But, I think as the movie went on, I think he became more comic relief, and I don't think that was in nature to the true Punisher from the comics. Waving with the Spider-Man mask on at the end, and also, so we all know that it was a very Punisher thing for him to do, to say, you can try to say if you want to, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna take this bitch out.
Yeah,
and to get on a rooftop with a sniper gun. Mm-hmm. And it was ready to shoot Jean Grey. I was like, now that's a very Punisher thing to do. That's great. But then he ends up, of course, shooting Spider-Man because he sacrificed himself to move Jean Grey out the way. And then they end up in the hospital. So I thought that would have been the perfect moment for them to show how the morals clash. Without, he was lecturing at the beginning of the movie, and I thought it would have been cool to say, you see how your methods don't work? Mm. I mean, first of all, you shot me, and I was able to help this girl without having to use, any kind of murder. Yeah, I didn't have to use, I didn't have to go in and use drastic methods like you. I thought that would have been cool for them to not hate each other, and not go at each other, but just to say, all right, you know what, we're not going to agree. You do it your way, I do it mine. I'm sorry I shot you.
I mean, that was a way to do it, but it's considering that the Punisher knew all that. The fact, the moment he shot him, all that, he knew all that. He was emotionally, broken by it. That's not really the time where you go, told you so. I told you.
See, I just disagree. I think that as he comes through, he's like, thank you for saying that. Again, nothing where they antagonize each other, but it's like, thank you for helping me. But yeah, we're never just going to agree on this.
Yeah, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. I thought they could have done it here because I just thought at the end, and it's just me. Like, we're just going to disagree. That's all. Yeah. But because I thought at the end, it was like, first of all, it was all kind of messy for me. You had Frank Castle, was a wanted guy, just easing up into the hospital, sitting there for days where nobody goes after him. You got Spider-Man sitting in the hospital, and everybody knows he's in there because the public is outside cheering for him. As many enemies as Spider-Man has, I thought, so nobody's going to attack the hospital to get at Spider-Man because they know he's there.
I mean, that's why the Punisher's there.
Yeah, but the Punisher can't stop everybody, And I thought somebody should have, it would have been more likely for somebody to attack the hospital with Peter Parker in there. That was just something like we used to talk about how Spider-Man used to pull his mask off all the time. It's like, okay, how many times you gonna pull off your mask and show yourself to people in New York? This was one of those other moments to me where it's like, all right, you know, people at least know where you are and nobody's coming after you. I just thought it was a little rushed near the end. But that's, you know, again, that's just me.
I don't know. I thought it had a good flow, and it was a way to end it on a high note, leave everybody feeling good about things, even though underneath you're like, this is pretty bad.
Yeah. No, it just didn't seem logical to me. That's all. But you know, like I said, the beginning of the movie shows us how many enemies he's made. And you know he's at a hospital, and nobody's gonna be like, we can get him at his weakest and most vulnerable point. Again, because the public is outside with Spider-Man mask waiting. I was like, that's just weird to me. But you know, like I said, it didn't ruin anything for me. It's the end of the movie. I just thought that was a little rushed. Well, go ahead.
I thought the beginning, the montage, kind of set up the fact that Spider-Man has a bunch of those rogue galleries out there. But it seems as though in that montage he captured all of them. It seemed.
Yeah.
So I don't know who was left.
I tell you what I think they did right by leaving this out. As much as it would have been cool to see, I'm glad they didn't do that man spider thing.
I mean, I was wanting it, but it would have been too much here.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Because it looked like when it was getting close, I was like, oh, come on. Where's those 6 arms? When's he going to turn to a... I'm like, oh, then I don't. Well, you know, we got enough going on. Yeah, maybe not.
I thought near the end too, man, I was like, you know what? Because when he was fighting the hand and his eyes turned black. Yeah. And I thought, okay, here we go. But man, and the odds did not talk about this. It was just too much going on in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, to turn into a human spider thing, that's a whole
other plot line.
I agree with you. It would look cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about this before the movie came
when his
out.
eyes turning black, but I was like, oh, this is so he gets his spider sense. Okay. And organic webs. Okay.
Okay. How'd you feel about him being going back to having organic webs and everything?
Oh yeah, I thought it was a cool little throwback, and the way they explained it, you know, made sense movie wise. I thought it was cool, and he even mentioned old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man having it and everything like that. I loved his reaction to it when the webs were coming out. He was freaking out and disgusted by it. I thought that was great. I love the fact. Well, I'm happy that they didn't do the 6-arm thing too. There were so many different theories going around, people swearing this is going to happen. You know, you throw enough darts at the board, something's going to stick. Right. You know what I mean? And that's where the Jean Grey thing comes into play.
Yeah.
But everybody's talking about the 6 arms. Hey, Daredevil's in it. Oh, this person's in it. I'm like, no, relax. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Let's watch the goddamn movie. So, you know. Like,
I'm not going to lie. I would have loved to have had a Daredevil cameo in there, but after seeing the movie, it wouldn't have made sense. They would have just forced that in there.
Yeah.
So are they?
Yeah. Punisher would have had 2 people on either side of him going, you got to stop, man. Don't be doing that.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell y'all this. I think that it is good that the Punisher is more friendly with Peter Parker because he's already got a dude that he's arguing with all the time, which is Daredevil.
Yeah.
You know, he's already got a guy that he's butting heads with all the time. So I don't think we need to repeat that situation completely with Spider-Man. Do you think they'll go back to him using web shooters, or is he going to keep the organic? Or did they do that in the movie? Did they?
I feel like he's sticking with the organic because he started getting used to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you prefer that?
Yeah.
I think I would too. No, you know what, man? I listen. I don't think that some of the things I was complaining about, I'm trying to say this is terrible at all, man. I actually love the movie. You know, it's just the ending that got me. But for the most part, like I said, for 90% of this movie, I think that this is the best Spider-Man movie that they have out now. And I think the whole time, and we were talking about this, I think, you just mentioned it, but, you know, finally having Peter Parker not be under the shadow of Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, and there's been some other people, man, that he's had to like, you know, look up to and still act like a kid. For him to be finally handling things on his own makes him a real adult. And I think that makes, you know, the character its own character now. You know, I mean, before it was just, he was always, even in his own movies, he always kind of felt like a supporting character in a way.
Right.
And now he seems like, you know, this is his movie.
Oh yeah,
Finally.
yeah,
You know?
absolutely, absolutely. And the thing about this movie, I think one of the things that makes it successful where other movies haven't been, is that the pathos in it, in that there's real emotion, and it's not all jokey, because that's what was getting everybody tired of Marvel. And you know, and even James Gunn does that to a degree. And it's like, yeah, you know, we got to have humor to alleviate the tension. Yeah, but we need the tension also.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. He was under the shadow of what's his name? Mysterio.
Yeah, that's right.
Nick Fury.
Yeah. Always looking for mentors. Always looking for father figures.
Mentors and father figures. Yeah, you know, always looking for another Uncle Ben.
And that's the thing. They cut out the whole, well, we don't want to have Uncle Ben in here. It's like, that is actually germane to who he is, the death of Uncle Ben. And then you have him acting like his uncle died, following all these other guys as father figures.
Yeah, yeah. But he's finally on his own. They had to force him to be on his own, which, man, I forgot that. I can't believe I forgot to bring this up, but this will be the last thing I mention here. Again, that was a bold move to have MJ tell him, I don't love you. And you the whole time you thinking, oh, they'll get together at the end. It's like, nah, I don't know you, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. The way she was like, wow, this is something. It's just too bad that I don't feel this way about you. I don't know you. And your heart just drops. Like,
they did the kiss and everything. This movie, they do some of the most soul-crushing things to Peter Parker, man. And again, yeah, you're right, Martin. That adds a lot of weight to this.
Well, and you know, her reaction, what she does, you can't even go like, man, what a bitch. You're just like, yeah,
man, you can't know.
Yeah,
you can't blame her.
You can't, not at all.
She's like, I just don't know you.
Right,
you're a good-looking guy and everything, and it's cool. You're Spider-Man, but I got a boyfriend.
But it's like you wrote a love letter to this girl you've had a huge crush on, but you kept it to yourself, and somehow it fell out and she found it and read it. And you're like, God,
oh man, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And you're like, if only I was a superhero, she would. Oh wait, I am a superhero, and that's not moving the needle at all.
No, he thought, hey, look, it's me. I'm really Spider-Man. She's like, who?
Yeah,
I don't know. Put the mask back on. I know Spider-Man. I don't know you.
Saving me and all, but
yeah.
It's like, plus, when she's like, you did this to save me, but my life is still in danger because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely crushed his spirit, but there is that glimmer of hope, man. There is that glimmer of hope, and they will go down that path, I believe.
I believe so too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Him and Ned are starting to remember each other, and even MJ had that necklace, right? And she was thinking about the old times because of this necklace. So yeah, I think this movie they ain't gonna leave Peter dangling like that, and they ain't gonna hurt him that bad. And I think they'll get back.
He just has to start over. That's all.
Yeah.
He's got to win her back.
Yeah, put the work into the game, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now you know, just being Spider-Man ain't gonna cut it.
Right.
Up your game, man.
That's my opener. No,
Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.